So I just got fired and I have no idea what I should be doing, how I should react or respond. And I'm trying to figure that out. And while I do, I just wanted to shoot a video and kind of share my feelings, a little bit of the backstory, how it all happened, how it all went down in such a short period of time. But anyway, let's begin. So to be honest, a lot of times it's hard for me to be open and transparent, especially when it comes to shooting videos like this. I know that a lot of times I don't share a lot, and lately life hasn't been that easy for me, in the sense of trying to figure out a lot of answers, personally, professionally, financially, culturally as well. I know that we all are going through tough times, especially nowadays. And when it comes to my side, I think that I can feel ashamed a lot of times to kind of share that, to be open, but it's just I've been doing so much lately. Many different projects, side hustles, teaching languages, trying to figure out, different projects when it comes to shipping things from China, just freelancing in terms of marketing, and just so many things that one can do. And because of that, I decided to finally just get a job and actually maybe find something relatively more stable for a while that could help me not only really focus on one thing instead of trying to do 1,000 things, because let's face it, there's just too many opportunities out there, in my opinion. And that is one of the things that really I've been struggling with in terms of really deciding, what to do, that one thing, and then just pursuing that one thing. And so I thought, maybe getting a job would allow me to really focus on that. And actually, I wanted to give myself the opportunity to really learn, get more insights, and a really more in-depth kind of experience when it comes to learning how a company and a business actually works in the online space. And it was just all related to sales and marketing. So this is what I thought. I thought I will learn from it, and then hopefully maybe on the side along the way I could learn more things and kind of implement that on my businesses and my projects and things like that. So in other words, I wanted to really work closely with a company that was already established in the industry when it comes to sales and marketing. And I thought that would really help me to learn, to grow my skill set, and to actually understand how everything works when it comes to running a business, thing which we all try to figure out along the way. And I've been struggling personally with that. So this is how it started. It was probably somewhere along the beginning of this year that I've kind of been trying to work on myself even more, and to try to come up with ways to get that, stability mentally, financially, in all senses of life. And so I thought that would help me. And so, the entire process of it was quite long, to be honest. I went through many different stages of interviews, and I filled in an application, then I hopped on probably around 3 or 4 interviews with the same people. So 3 or 4 times, doing slightly different types of interviews throughout the way. And eventually after that, I had to wait for about 1 week and a half for me to have a final interview in which I was offered the job. And so when it comes to all these processes and things like that, I was thinking, it takes so much time, it takes so much work, investing so much energy into it. But in the end of the day, when I was offered the position, I thought, this is great. All my work has paid off, And so I was happy to really get to see that and to really start working along, and if not just really secure the job and really secure that position in that company, which is sales related. And so I thought, if I give my 100%, if I try as my best, then I would definitely be able to stay in the team. And so there was this 30-day trial period, which I was told that I was starting. And so throughout these 30 days, what I would do was get on board, really understand the gist of, how things work, and actually getting calls, and just be able to participate in the entire team and really understand how it works, so that then after the 30 days I would keep on working and really be on board and trained to do my job properly, right? And so what happened was that throughout the first week, the first day, second day, third day, I was doing all these things that I was told I had to do in the onboarding process. And I always try to be one step ahead. I always try to finish things that I had to do and then come up with different ways to improve that, and then also suggest different ideas. And it was just a very, very short period of time in which now I'm thinking, and I'm trying to think back and say, what, maybe there were a couple of things that I missed that I wasn't aware of, but how do you manage to get fired in a week? That's definitely something that I never thought I was going to be able to accomplish. And even at this point, I think a lot of it is an incognita. Like, I can't figure it out, maybe the truth behind it, because there's things that you think, there's things people tell you, then there's reality, right? So maybe a lot of it isn't even true. And to be honest, it is kind of hard for me to believe what I was told because of just overall circumstances, right? And so the surprise was that starting my first day of the second week, I get a phone call, and I get this person telling me, it's not about you, it's not about your performance, it's just that the role that we were hiring for is no longer something that we need right now. And so I was thinking, how can you change from really needing that job and really being a company that is growing so fast to not needing that role anymore, that position, and actually thinking that you have to cut back and take a step back in terms of hiring people and projects and things that you're doing. And so I was told that it was not about performance, that I was doing great, that I would be a great asset to the team, but yet that I was gonna be let go. And so in the end of the day, even if they told me that I was proactive, that my work ethic was great, and that I could get ahead in many ways, still it was just there was just something behind it that didn't really allow me to be able to pursue that job. And so that's what I was told. And as I say, I do find it a little bit hard to believe, because maybe there was something that I didn't do properly. And I'm not gonna throw rocks or stones at other people. I'm not here to talk bad about them. I'm just here to explore what really happened, and trying to find the truth about it, because I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I have a lot of things to work on and a lot of things I can improve. And there were probably many things that maybe I just didn't do properly. And so what really amazed me was that this was a company that, as one of the values, they say that it's all about radical transparency, honesty and things like that. And I didn't feel like they were being honest to me because of this. And instead of just letting me know, this is how I feel about XYZ, and maybe we can't work it out, maybe we're just not a fit, I would highly appreciate that over just telling me that everything is great, but just external circumstances are just not aligned or so. And so if it is the case, and I want to believe it, I want to understand it and think, all right, maybe it is, maybe it's just not about me taking it personal, maybe it really is the circumstances. And 2022 is also a year where it seems like a lot of people are scared about recession, and so many things going on around the world with this crisis. So maybe it's just that, maybe it really is just that people are just trying to cut back and trying to be careful and aware in terms of the movements that they make, the moves they make. And so if that is the case, then I understand it. And in the other way, it's like, I know that this really came as a surprise to me. and maybe I can look back at it and think about this in 3 months or 6 months or a year and think, well, you know what, maybe it was just so obvious, but I couldn't see it at the time. And hopefully this happens, hopefully I'm able to get a clearer picture of what really happened in the future. But this is precisely why I'm making this video, because I know that, some of you watching this may have had an experience where you have absolutely no idea of what's going on. You're being let go and you feel so powerless, you feel like blindsided, maybe lied to, just anxious, scared, like you don't know what's going to happen. And I never really took that job for granted, but I never thought that it would all come and go so fast. And so that's definitely a lesson to be learned. And I know that with the surprise, a lot of emotions came to me, and that maybe I never really experienced. Having done a lot of things separately on my own for a long time, now I'm thinking, maybe it's just meant to be. Maybe it's just that life doesn't want me to get a job, and life just wants me to push through and actually figure it out and choose one thing, and then just stick to that one thing, focus, then just keep on working on that one project. And maybe it's just that life lesson. Maybe in that sense as well, if I don't take it personal, then I can understand that there's just a lot of positives into it as well. Maybe hard to see at this point, or hard to be objective in that sense, but I truly believe that there is something to be learned from this lesson, and that maybe it really is just a way or a signal for me to understand that I have to make a decision in terms of working on one thing, one project at a time, and maybe just pursue the same thing that I did with this job throughout 1 week, but apply that in all my other projects, and just make that one conviction. It makes no sense. I was just gonna say to make that decision with conviction and actually just stick to that one project and then follow through, give your 100%. Because in the end, it's just something for yourself, right? That's the gist of starting a business, running a business. It's for yourself. And the irony is, like, why wouldn't I do that for myself, but actually do that for other people, right? Maybe it's because you're being held accountable. Maybe it's because there's other people's jobs on the line. I don't know. But I definitely do have to, grab this by the hand or by the balls, whatever it is, that I have to really take ownership for my things. And I have to understand that despite this being a very painful and weird and awkward and shameful situation for me, this is something that will help me grow in the future, and something that I will be able to look back at hopefully one day and just laugh at it and think, you know what, that was a blessing in disguise. I was never really meant to work at a job in such an environment, and maybe I was just trying to pretend that I could, but eventually things just turn out the way they have to, and so maybe it's just what it is, right? So with that being said, I really appreciate you watching this video until now. Hopefully, if you've had any experience like this, like you're suddenly got fired, you've been let go, you don't know how to deal with it, you don't know how to feel, maybe this can help you reflect and actually make an objective kind of response towards that thing, instead of just being reactive and just doing something that you might regret in the future. So I'm not here to talk about the negatives. I will never speak about the negatives, or how I felt so dumb or stupid just because of being lied to in a week. But even then, if you are having this type of experience, the tip I would probably give you is try to think about the meaning of it without taking it personal, and just see how can you react in a way that is not reactive. And so really just thinking about the first reaction that you're going to have, right? When you are being told these things, are you responding in a bad manner, or are you being grateful about it, right? Getting off the call, at that point I really didn't know what to say. The only thing I said was, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. This is definitely unexpected, but I guess it is what it is, right? And so with that being said, it's like, how do you react to that? And then kind of taking some time to think and reflect on this, which is exactly what I've been doing right now for the last couple of hours. And then just thinking, how am I going to respond to this? And my response in this case is, I wrote in my diary, I recorded a couple of ideas, and now I want to be able to shoot this video and actually share this with you, so that I get something positive out of it in the future. Kind of like a redeemable thing that you can learn from and you can look back into and say, oh wow, now with these things in the contrast, I'm able to understand the situation a whole lot better. And finally, just thinking about how we can reset or reboot our train of thought, because if I was to take it personal, I would just definitely think, oh, it's personal, these guys are dicks, or they're being mean to me, they lied to me, I wasted 1 week of my life, I trusted them, I gave my 100%, and they didn't do the same back to me. And so there's just so many things that can come up, and so many emotions that if you don't know how to deal with them, then they may become part of something that you're starting to believe, these like false beliefs in terms of your worth, your capacity, all these things, right? And so me doing this right now hopefully can allow me to also put those things aside and think, what, I am worth it. Maybe it's just we were literally just not a fit. It's maybe not that I'm not enough, maybe that I'm not good for them, whatever it is, it's just we're not a fit, And so cleaning your mind, letting go of those emotions and beliefs, and then just using that to really get ahead and think, am I gonna, step down, or am I gonna step up after this? Because those are the two only options that you can take, right? Whenever something happens, you can either decide to do something negative about it, or you can decide to use that and propel yourself towards, anything that you want to do in the future and actually improve, become better, learn from it, and just take as much advantage as you can from that situation. So, this has been my rant. I know that I've gone for a long while now, but hopefully it really helps you to reflect as well, to kind of implement these things, how to react, how to respond, and how to reset yourself in this situation. Clean ourselves, not keep this as a negative trauma or a negative thought that we have along in the future that will not allow us to grow, but instead actually help us really see areas of opportunity in our life and use that as a way to maximize our opportunities. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do from now on, but I definitely know that I don't want to bounce back into what I was doing the way that I was doing it, because that's what I should be learning from, right? So I'm going to figure that out by myself. I'm going to come up with the answers, and hopefully I'll share that with you in the next video. And thanks for watching. Take care and just keep it up. This is it's all about this. Just let's keep going. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you believing in me as well, and I believe in you. So speak very, very soon.